Good morning, YouTube. You're on the lifeboat. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. How is everyone doing today? I am having my first cup of coffee right now, trying to wake it up. You know what I mean? Good morning, everyone. Let's do some roll call, huh? We're going to talk about some resentments today. One of my favorite topics. Kristen Melinda, howdy how. How you doing? Drive safe, pretty please. Sandy Wandy, Charlie Mullins, hello. Dale Cox, what's going on, brother? Dude, I'm sorry about those corn nuts. I also have some teeth issues, so I had a tube of peanuts and a tube of corn nuts, and I was like, which one do I send? I was like, well, let's send them the one that I can't eat. So I'll send you those peanuts, man. That's my fault. I wasn't thinking about you eating them, I guess. They're still good to suck on, maybe, but I'll get those peanuts sent out today, man. No sweat. I'll get you some more tracking info. I'm super stoked to try your tincture, and I'm honored that you would send me such a special batch. Can't wait to share it with the world. TKK, hello. Good morning. Body Illusion. Yo. Tina Marie, hello. I saw another Tina Marie a second ago. Lady Tina Marie, welcome in. Good to see you. Carry on. Hello. One of our many ripples. Robin Miners. Good morning. Good to see you. What is this jalapeno candy you speak of? Yeah, guys, resentments. Resentments is one of my favorite topics. Helena, Flock of Swan Boats, hello. I love that name. Scooby Lee, Kevin Hawthorne, Aspire to Inspire, Matrix, Rabbit, Fancy Nancy. Heck yeah. Kathy Ann, the gang is all here. Eva, good morning. I had a dream about one of my exes last night, and she used to go by Eva. I just remembered. I have not been keeping a dream journal, so I did not write about that, but that did remind me just now. Ben, Bacon Bits, and Sierra Terry. Hello, good morning. Lacey Silver. Heck yeah, guys. This is going to be a good one today. So, resentments. We all know what resentments are, right? Resentments are when I hold on to the memory of something inside my heart, my head, that happened that was negative, right? And I can't get it out of my head. I resent this person, this situation, this event. For example, I had a lot of resentment for my parents. I had something that I had to work through in order to get sober. There was pain there that I was running from for most of my life. I don't resent my parents anymore. I'm happy to say, wow, my hair is out of control. Might have to put something on my head. But that was something I had to work through. Resentment is not something you can carry around with you and be sober. I don't know if that's the right way to say that, but I'm going to go with it. Resentment's not something that you can carry around with you and be healthy. How about that? We'll go with that. That's even better. Resentment will find its own way out of you if you don't provide it a way out. And when I say provide resentment a way out, I mean process it, right? Deal with it. If you ignore it, run from it, kind of like what we were talking about yesterday with the memories that pop up that we don't necessarily like and how to deal with them. And it's kind of the same situation with resentment. We have to look it right in the face. Otherwise, it will fester, poison the mind and body over time. Maybe we view the situation that we're resenting or the person we're resenting as unfair, right? Maybe you were wronged. Maybe there's a good reason, right? Maybe you resent them because they did something mean, right? At the same time, it's not okay that they did something mean, right? But you're only hurting yourself by holding on, by harboring that grudge, by holding that resentment, you're only hurting yourself. Hold on one second. Please hold. We're listening to Gate Creeper this morning. It's an Arizona death metal band I'm pretty stoked on, which I actually discovered this band in Salt Lake at a pizza place. They were playing Gate Creeper at the pizza place. I was like, what is that? He was like, that's Gate Creeper, bro. Anyways, what's going on with Shannon? I see people asking about her a lot. Is something going on with Shannon? I saw her yesterday. Let's also get some ones up. Let's get some ones up for Shannon. Let's get some, I forgot yesterday. Let's get some ones up for Izzy E. Let's get some ones up for everybody that needs them. Izzy's got a sinus infection. She's dealing with some sickness and whatnot. I forgot to say that yesterday, but yeah, what's going on with Shannon, guys? Fill me in. Good morning, Goosebump. Good to see you. Good luck with your extraction, dude. Did something happen yesterday, last night? I was not present. I feel like corn nuts, whoever invented corn nuts needs to get their head checked. Like, I feel like they're supposed to be that hard. And I don't know. I mean, I guess when I was a kid, I had friends that would really enjoy corn nuts, but I was never a corn nut enjoyer. They always seemed to be way too hard to me. While I'm passing over this subject again, I'm just going to touch it again, you know? I live for now. Hello, hello. Bethany Saunders. Can we do a show about crack cocaine sometime? Yes, we can. Not today, but I will make that commitment. We definitely should. That was my thing. And I've been a little scared to delve into that topic, but I am quite removed from my addiction. And I mean, obviously, I could have more time, right? But I think a year and a half is a pretty good number. I feel pretty comfortable. I'm doing what I want to be doing in my life. I'm not falling down. You know, I feel a modicum of success. I feel like I can handle doing a show on crack cocaine. Bethany, thank you for asking that. I can definitely procrastinate with the best of them. I definitely knew this was a topic that needed to be touched on, and I'm definitely the man for the job. My dad wasn't very into it, so. They are totally little salty rocks, Sandy Wandy. I will get back to the topic, I swear. I just want to see what's going on with Shannon. Oh, okay, she's going to share in a bit. Okay. No rush. She's dehydrated and low electrolytes. Oh, no. Speaking of, we have hot water, guys. The water is good now. Almost 7 years. Wow. Yeah, let's definitely get some ones up for Shannon and anyone else out there that needs them. Scooby, 7 years. Wow, that's insane. That's so much time. I've never spent that much time sober. And I aspire to do so. You may have inspired me to, I mean, I was definitely intending to go as far as possible anyways, but dude, that is so cool, Scoob. Can't remember, but it might be 7 years. Now I'm sober off coke. I'm not sure anymore. Well, you know, regardless, it's a ridiculous amount of time. It's a huge portion of time. 7 divisible by 30 something. I guess 7's divisible by 28, right? So it's like a little bit over a quarter of my life. Kathy Ann reminding everyone to drink water and fluids. Spicy Cat Foster, good to see you. Okay, got lost in my head there thinking about Shannon. I will resume this topic, all right? Pandy Kelly, good to see you. Did everyone take their meds today? I used to forget that all the time. I would have really appreciated this back in the day. I don't really take meds anymore, but thank you for saying that. How kind. It was very, very smart. Shannon to go to the ER. She was definitely in the right place last night. Shannon will hopefully go home today. She sends her love to the lifeboat. Well, we send our love to her as well. It's a good thing that she's in good hands and being taken care of. That makes me happy. All right, resentment can have effects. We're going to talk about some effects: mental, emotional, physical. Resentment is going to affect every aspect of you. As far as the mental stuff goes, if you allow it to exist, if you allow it to stay, it's going to consume your thoughts. You're going to be obsessing over the past. This can affect everything: focus, concentration, memory, decision-making. Over time, anxiety, depression, and like negativity just overwhelm. I like to think of resentment as, I think festering is a good word to use, because over time it gets worse and worse and worse, kind of like, festering would work out, right? The longer you leave it unaddressed, it's going to get worse, more painful. It's going to get more difficult. It's going to also become more difficult to handle the longer you put it off. I like to imagine that one day I'll be in such a place that I can handle resentments as soon as they show up. Like, just as they come, boom, that's done. As things happen, okay, I'm going to deal with this and not run from anything, right? Obviously, that's a lot more difficult than it is to say that, right? But in a perfect world, that's how I would handle things. Obviously, it's not gonna work out like that so easily, but I mean, that would be the ideal situation. Proud to be sober and not destroying my nose. I already have bad sinuses. I tell you what, laying down to go to sleep now, it's really hard to breathe through my nose. Whatever's going on in there, it doesn't like to lay down. Mr. Bacon Bits, I see you in here. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. As far as the emotional effects go, this can often manifest as bitterness or anger, hostility, especially towards those that we love. If you're getting short and curt with those around you, it's a good indicator that there might be something wrong on the inside. Something might be harboring some resentment. Harboring resentment may prevent you from experiencing joy or contentment altogether. Kathy Ann says, my grandpa had called resentment landmines. As a military man, he said you might think the surface is calm, but it can cause destruction in your life when you least expect it. I really like that. Very much. Thank you, Carry On, for the updates on Shannon. How am I doing, Ben? Happy for the hot water again. I'm doing really good. Today's really well. I called my dad this morning to wish him a happy good morning, right? He's also doing great today. We're all doing great. Seems to be a great day. I'm considering going down to the Flow Jam, but man, my teeth make me unhappy. So I would like to do everything I can to improve that situation. So I don't think going and dancing is a good move. Although it would make me happy, I think that I might suffer for it more later than I would like. So contemplating decisions, instant gratification versus long-term success. They're not very equal on the scale, but they certainly like to pretend to be. You know what I mean? Heading back to bed, Matrix. I hope you find some rest, man. I hope you wake up feeling just so wonderful. Good to see you, Matrix. Thanks for stopping in and saying, hey, brother. I'm keeping you in my thoughts. Rick Smith, good to see you. Spicy Cat Foster, like that name. I feel like I said hello to you, but I don't remember saying that name. I remember your photo, though. Letting go of resentment doesn't mean your feelings aren't valid, says Spicy Cat Foster. It just means you relearn from the situation you have moved on. Thanks, Spanx. This is a good topic. This is one of my favorite topics. This might be like what journaling is for my dad. This might be my journaling. I was a very vengeful soul. I was a grudge holder. I was definitely one of those victim mentality kind of people once upon a time. And I had room inside of me for so much hate and resentment and everybody was out to get me. And if I didn't deal with this stuff, I would not be sitting here today. I wouldn't be in this position. I don't know if I'd be here at all. So yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite topics. It saved me for sure. But yeah, let's go forward with it. Physical effects. Please hold. I need coffee. So believe it or not, you can experience physical effects in your body from something like a resentment. Emotions, we talk about this a lot. They have physical effects on your body, right? So resentment can cause headaches, muscle soreness, insomnia. It could even weaken your immune system. You hold on to this stuff long enough, your body doesn't know what to do. It starts freaking out. The alarm system, right? We were talking about alarms in your brain yesterday. Resentment is, I don't know exactly how it ties in with the alarm system, right? But it certainly seems to follow a similar pattern. If I allow these resentments to dominate my thoughts, and if I harbor these emotions, they will force themselves out of me. They will find a painful way to come out. And also, the body seems to be in a state of emergency. It certainly seems like it interacts with the reward system in some way. Because nothing works the same when I'm harboring resentments. Everything kind of seems to be fight or flight all the time. There's no serenity. There's no peace when I'm harboring resentments. Everything is, like I said, fight or flight. Everything seems to be very emergency, which is no way to live. Nobody can live like that. You got to have some serenity, some peace. You got to have some relaxation. You got to be able to let these things go and just be okay. Tina Marie says, just because I no longer resent someone doesn't mean I've forgiven them. I've just healed over it. You know what I like to say, Tina? I really like that. I like to say, I forgive, but I do not forget. That's what I like to say. The forgiveness part, I think, is necessary sometimes to alleviate the resentment. For me, I don't know if it works like that for everyone. I would have to imagine it does, but I can't tell you it does. But I don't forget, right? I'm not going to set myself up to be wronged again, right? Who knows if this person, deserves my forgiveness or not, but I'm going to forgive them for me, right? So that I don't have to carry around that grudge. But I'm not going to forget. I'm not going to forget what they did, what they said, how they acted, where their intentions were coming from, right? I'm not going to forget any of that. I'm going to file that away in the cabinet of my head that says, be careful. This person did this. Watch this person. Maybe let's see if they really are turning a new leaf or if they are just falling back on old habits, kind of deal. Because it's never black and white. It's pretty gray area most of the time. And that's one of the reasons I like to make things black and white in my head, to help me make decisions easier. Let's do crochet. Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbnail, Mary. It seemed apt this morning. I have to say, making thumbnails is like the bane of my existence. I hate it so much. I'm sure that there's an app out there that would make it easier. My dad seems to have an app that makes it really easy, but I'll figure it out one day. All right, so we've talked about effects. We've talked about all the bad stuff. How do we resolve this? How do we get rid of these resentments, guys? Cup of coffee, forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you. I totally agree. And that is a hard concept to wrap your brain around sometimes. The first time I learned this, I was on the phone with my dad. We weren't living in the same state, but we were communicating. I believe I was 17, and I forget what the issue was, but he told me, he was like, look, there are two kinds of apologies. There are those kinds of apologies we say to gain forgiveness, and there are those kinds of apologies we give to forgive ourselves. And that rocked me. I had never understood that concept until that moment. Forgiveness is freeing, and that freedom comes as a gift to yourself. Blessed to crochet. Let's go. And, again, Tina, sometimes, maybe they don't deserve, right? There's I can think of a ton of examples of situations or resentments like this person does not deserve my forgiveness, right? And what it comes down to is like, am I gonna hate this person forever? Am I gonna carry around this negative emotion and which is, hurting me? It's probably not affecting them at all, right? And if you really break it down, that emotion, that resentment is probably like rooted in some sort of like vengeful feeling or like tit for tat kind of mentality. So it's not serving and it will never serve. Don't forget what these people have done. I think that would be folly. But to carry around that emotion must be painful and cannot be great, right? Just my 2 cents, Tina. I want you to experience all the peace you possibly can. Deaudre Gore says, by the way, good morning, Deaudre. My old Al Anon group would always say resentment is like drinking the poison and hoping the other person will die. Wow. I like that a lot. I'm going to pin that sucker. Dun, 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 dun. Where'd it go? It looks so much different on my other screen. Wow. Very different over there. Kathy Ann. Sorry to hear all that. I think I might read that. I've been fighting some myself, some resentments, I assume. My ex showed this weekend at my eldest birthday party. Sometimes things don't change. It just makes me sad for his new partner and disappointed. It does, right? Especially when we've changed our lives, right? When we've, made the necessary changes for ourselves. To see the people that used to be in our immediate circles not doing that for themselves it makes me sad too. In fact, we talked about a situation like this for me recently when I went out to Salt Lake. Um, that person seems to be doing a lot better, but I don't really know. We don't really talk. I can check on her. I should check on her. The last time we spoke, it was pretty wild though, and it freaked me out. But I'll be a man. I really just need to call her, see how she's doing. Kind of new here. Watched a few times. Brad Benfield. Good to see you. Welcome in. Well, for those that are new, we are not a sobriety channel. We are a recovery channel. We're a harm reduction channel. I don't care if you use. I don't care if you drink. I don't care, XYZ. It's fine. Come all, come one, come all. The idea here is that we want to live a better life than we lived yesterday. The idea here is that we want to improve our quality of life by any means necessary, right? And I shouldn't say by any means necessary. Obviously, we want to be good people, right? We're not talking about anything other than that. But I just want to live a better life than I did yesterday. For me, that involves recovery. And you don't even have to have substances don't even have to be an issue for you on this channel. We have tons of people on this channel that don't do drugs, that don't have problems with alcohol or whatever like that. Maybe some people are here for overeating. Maybe some people are here just because they want to change their life in some other way that I haven't thought of. I'm sure there's a ton of that. People that may not even speak up, right? But anyways, the mission statement of this channel is to change lives. And the Admiral, my dad started this channel, and he is the first, I don't want to say patient because we're not doctors, we're not therapists, we're not licensed, right? So there's that. But I want to say he's the first success, right? He was the first person to go through the lifeboat program. I don't know if I want to call it a program either. That makes me uncomfortable, but he's the first example. And now he's trying to share that with everybody and myself as well. The Captain Calhoun. So welcome, Brad. I'm glad you're here. And I hope you stick around. I hope you come back. I hope that we can make a positive change in your life. I hope that we can help you affect positivity in your life and with those around you. Food and gambling addiction here. How could I forget gambling? It's so much fun. But the thing with gambling, it's the same exact thing going on in your brain as doing drugs, as drinking. You're hitting a button, doing the slots, doing whatever, and your reward system is dropping dopamine on your brain. Did you know that gambling addiction actually, more often than not, comes down to being addicted to loss, not being addicted to gains? Isn't that crazy? You're addicted to that feeling of putting it all on the line and then losing. Peer support recovery group. I think that's a pretty all-in-all description right there, Kristen. I appreciate that. Guacaholic, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome in, dude. Good to see you. I love to hear that, Aaron. Thank you for saying that. No drug problems here, but I'm going through struggles, and I feel like this group helps everyone. That's amazing. That's what it's all about right there. I saw some ones. I'm going to get in on the ones here. It's a perfect example of how we roll. Great welcome. Thanks, Captain. Absolutely, Tina. My pleasure. You know how we do. All right, let's go back to the material. Let's see what we've got here. Why do you have to beg, Ben? Is it because it's your third or fourth keyboard? You got to stop spilling coffee on it, man. Or are your hands just so big that the natural weight of them crushes the keys? What's going on? What's going on? And just a caveat, just like a little disclaimer, I wish I had huge hands. I think that's way cool. I'm not trying to make fun of you. Just poking you a little bit. All right. Resolving. How are we going to resolve this? How are we going to resolve resentments? The way to do so, and it's going to be surprisingly simple. It's going to blow your mind how easy this is. Or I shouldn't say that, how easy it sounds. It does require some hard work. It does require looking inward. It does require staring in the eyes, something that you probably don't want to. But I mean, the hardest part is doing it, and then it's done, right? So the way we do this is we acknowledge and accept these feelings, right? My feelings are valid. I don't feel feelings that like for no reason. The reason may be confused, like my whatever's system in my brain is associated may be confused, but it is doing what it does for a reason, right? So we need to accept this. My emotions are real, whether or not I like them. And then rather than suppressing or denying, we're going to sit with it, right? We're going to accept and we're going to move forward. The willingness to move forward through adversity, right? Like this happened, but I'm not going to let it define me. This happened, but I'm going to move forward. We're going to look to the future, not to the past. We're going to stay here in this present moment instead of just looking back over my shoulder forever. We're going to examine, skipping ahead here. Validating one's emotions is essential as a first step. I think that we can easily fall into a thought process like, I shouldn't be feeling this way. These emotions, I can do without them, especially if we were gaslit or, if we have a history of being gaslit, especially if we have experiences or traumas related to someone denying our reality. We can learn to try and deny our own reality, which is quite destructive, right? So accept your emotions. They are real and they happen for a reason. You have them for a reason. And the second bit of this is we're going to identify the cause, right? Where did this resentment come from? Sometimes this will be easy to identify. Sometimes it'll be a little bit more tricky. But journaling here is going to be your best friend. Write it down, right? Especially like in that moment when that resentment flares its ugly face and it's like it's hot inside you. You know what I mean? Like it's burning. Like sit down and write it down right then, because that's when it's fresh. When those emotions are driving your thoughts, that's when the real meat and potatoes comes out. And you don't have to consciously drive those thoughts. They will drive themselves if you're in that state, if you're in that moment. So I would say definitely journal about it. Write that stuff down. Reflect on that moment, how you felt, what made you feel that way. Why was this situation negative, et cetera, et cetera. And examine your beliefs. How did I get to this place, right? How did we get to this event? And then now how did we get here? Empathy and compassion are going to be your best friends when processing these feelings and these events. Because resentment is kind of akin to a negative emotion, but empathy, compassion, love, these things trump all others. If we can look at it in a positive light, that's going to change everything. That's going to enable you to let it go. That's going to enable you to not harbor that feeling anymore. I'm telling you, love, compassion, these positive emotions trump all else. And if you can look upon these negative events, if you can look upon your past and these memories with positivity, with love in your heart, some way, somehow, it might be a little difficult. You might have to switch the way it looks. You might have to switch your perspective a little bit. But in doing so, you will disarm the resentment. It'll take its power away. How you like them apples? Open and honest communication, cultivate forgiveness, self-care, right? Love yourself, love others, and cultivate an energy, cultivate a mindset of forgiveness, right? If everything was right in their world, they wouldn't be acting like that. I'd be willing to bet. I pray for my enemy because, again, if everything was right in their world, they wouldn't be acting like that. And I think that goes for everybody. I think we're all doing our best. Today's best might not be that great. And today's best is unique, different from tomorrow's best, from yesterday's best. Every day's best is its own best. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not, right? But I think that we're all trying. I think that we're all doing our best. Sometimes it just doesn't pan out very well. Tampa B Man says, my resentment is valid and yet destructive. Amen. I tell you what, this probably rings true for all resentments, I would have to say. There is a lesson to be gleaned, right? I don't forget, but I do forgive, right? Because our alarm system is teaching us something, right? We don't want this to happen again. But at the same time, I don't need to carry around this memory of this person with this red, angry hue on it, Have fun with your family reunion. Carry on. Much love to you and yours. Easier said than done for me, Spanx, but I will try. I hear that, Lacey. I definitely hear that. This was probably one of the most difficult parts of the whole deal for me. And when I originally did this, I was in AA. I was going to the 12-step program. And in that program, we do I forget the wording that they use, but a moral inventory, right? I would write down all my resentments that I could possibly think of, all the people, places, or things that I resented. And then I brought it back to my sponsor, and he would look at it and he'd be like, all right, now I want you to extrapolate. And I can't remember exactly how this went. I would have to go find my old AA journal. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. But broke it down. So I had resentments, like who I resented, why I resented them. And then I think there was a column for like, is this my fault? I forget. I shouldn't speak on that. But the very last column was, is this rooted in fear? And the lesson is that they are all rooted in fear. And also there was a way at the end of it, you can reverse the paper. Like, so you read it backwards and it would basically tell you like, okay, look, this is happening because you're being stubborn. This is happening because you're holding on to this stuff. This is happening. You're experiencing all of these emotions because you're experiencing all these emotions. So that helped me a lot. That detailed process that I can't describe very well today, apparently, helped me a ton. So maybe it would be more beneficial for you to have structure in the way that you process your emotions, or not emotions, resentments, Lacey Silver. And that being said, today, my homework for myself, not for you guys. I mean, if you want to, please do. But I'm going to give myself some homework. If I go find that step and I can detail it out, maybe we can provide you with some structure that may help you in processing these resentments. Because I have to say, this is one of the most beneficial things that I ever did for myself in recovery, was process resentments. It is almost a half-life walking around harboring resentments, having vengeance in your soul. Is a terrible way to live. Ben Baconbit says tomorrow he's having Kristen Melinda on his show to talk about abnormal psychology. Sweet deal. And go support our ripples, guys. I love that, Robin Miners. I'm a stubborn old Scorpio. I forgive but never forget. That's the way. Right there. This is the way. I tell you what, Tampa B-Man says, it's easier for me to add things to the list than let anything go, and it will always be. It's way easier to step in poop than to clean it off. You know what I mean? It's true. It's a great metaphor. Your mother's 95th. Wow. Great grandma Rosemary, I think, lived to 94 or 95. Bless her heart. She was a firecracker until the last day. Tell your mother that I send my best and happy birthday to her. We have a crocheted cupcake for such events. Happy birthday. Wow, the wisdom that she must carry is immense, I would imagine. The making amends part. Okay. Well, interesting. I probably need to think about that before I speak on it. I really need to flesh that idea out, because that is a very important aspect that I forgot about. And there are things to consider when it comes to making amends that are very important. And I'm not entirely sure that I am considering them all right now. So maybe I'll put that in my homework as well. This part's very important, though. I guess I do remember this. At the end of the day, if making amends would hurt the person, don't do it, right? Something that we did in AA was we would write a letter to the person apologizing, or not apologizing, making amends. It's different than just saying sorry. It's expressing, it's expressing apology and that you would like to make it right if there's any way that you can do so, right? But again, if this is going to hurt that person to bring this up again, right, it's going to hurt that person, don't do so. So we would write letters. And then if that was the case, we would not send them, or we would burn them, right? We would do something with them, but not send them to the person. They would always say that making amends in person is the best way to go about it. But in certain situations and circumstances that made it very difficult, we would write letters, and then we would burn them or send them off to ourselves, or, what have you. I imagine that you're in some sort of situation where making amends is very, very difficult. It probably is going to open old wounds or something to that effect. So I would suggest, again, and I know writing, all we talk about is writing these days. I would suggest writing it out, and then that will take your brain through the exercise. Your brain will do the work by writing it out. And that's half the battle right there. And you don't have to send it to the person. In fact, if that's the situation, right, I would suggest not sending it to the person, right? But going through the steps of doing so, right? You're doing the work in your heart instead of in the physical world, right? Which is just as good. That's going to affect the change within you that we are looking for. Goosebump 801 says, I harbor resentment for my father's recurrent verbal emotional abuse of my mother when I was young. Result, I have great difficulty identifying and experiencing anger. It turns to sadness. That is so interesting. I mean, I think that if I were in your shoes, I would have a hard time dealing with that resentment, man. You know what I mean? Some unforgivable stuff, right? Some unforgivable stuff. We have to find a way to move forward. We can't let this experience define us, even such an impactful experience such as this. Scrolling. Super relevant, right, Nicola? Glad to see you, by the way. That dang structure thing again, says Tampa B. Yeah, that dang structure. I'm having a pizza for breakfast and not the breakfast kind. Are there breakfast pizzas? I thought cold pizza was just breakfast. Have a great day, Jane. It was good to see you today. All right, we'll see you later. Jennifer Folsom, I also resent my late husband for giving me an STD that I didn't discover until 15 years after his death. Oh my Lord. I would harbor some resentment too, I'd have to say. I must be really far up in chat, Sandy Wendy. I think we just talked about that. Let me know at the bottom when I get there if you need more on that. My pleasure. Carry on. This must be a really good episode. I'm getting lots of responses. It's my pleasure, Tampa B. And, may she rest in peace. I'm sure she was a wonderful lady. That's right. I love that. I don't need hugs because she's gone. I need hugs because she's here with us. I love that so much. Have a great day, Taekwondo. Good to see you. All right. Make today great. Spank's question. Good morning, Donna. How are you? Did I miss something? If I resent something that was done to me, what amends can be made? If I resent something that was done to me, what amends can be made? I wasn't saying that amends need to be made. I was responding to Lacey Silver talking about amends being the difficult part for her. So resenting someone for something that was done to you is normal, right? You don't need to make amends, I don't think. What you need to do is forgive the person in your heart, even if they don't deserve your forgiveness, in order to stop carrying around that ugly, painful emotion. You're going to have to let it go. And in order to let it go, I think you're going to have to forgive the person. And that doesn't mean you have to tell the person, I forgive you. That's just like something that happens within yourself, right? And when we're talking about, here, let me pull my notes back up. I probably have something for this. Acknowledge and accept the feelings, right? The feelings that you're feeling towards and about this person are real, right? They're for a reason. You accept those feelings, right? They might suck, they might be painful, right? But they're there for a reason. Accept them. They're yours. And rather than suppressing or denying, rather than running from that feeling, validate your emotions. Identify, obviously, this is easy to identify the cause, right? This person did something bad to you, right? So that's the cause. But, and this is the hard part, I guess, you got to forgive that person within yourself, and maybe writing it down, maybe saying it like in the mirror, maybe writing a letter like we were talking about, an amends letter, but it wouldn't be an amends letter. Maybe writing a letter to this person, telling them how you feel, how this made you feel, right? But not sending it. I would not send this letter. I don't want you to have an interaction with this person if you can help it, all right? It doesn't sound like a good idea. But you have to process this experience further. And I think that forgiving that person, regardless of them being deserving or not, is going to free you from the shackles of this experience. I'm going to scroll down and skip a bunch of stuff because I want to know what you think of that. I think that's pretty important. Shauna B, thank you so much for your support. Half-Life, what a fantastic way to describe how I feel when being consumed with resentment. Thanks for this talk. I needed it. My pleasure. That one was off the hip too. That one just kind of showed up in my head, Half-Life. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up. I probably missed some stuff. I do that sometimes. I'll skip around from topic to topic, and then it'll be a little confusing. So if I confuse some of y'all, I apologize. Lost connect. Can I get a 5x5? Oh! I almost made a mess not looking. My connection died and then came back. Can I get a 5x5? I got to scroll to the bottom, I guess, for that. Lacey Silver says, I have been angry for decades. I bet you that doesn't feel very good. Jennifer Folsom, thank you so much for your support. Because I love you and everyone on this boat. We love you, Jennifer. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Dale, Puka. Appreciate you guys. Holding on to the resentment allows me to be right for a much longer time. This is true, Tampa B. But is being right worth it? You know, if you the feeling of being right for a very long time up on the scale against, you know, how that resentment is making me feel, right? What's heavier? What carries more weight? You know, is it worth it? I guess you're the only one that can make that decision, Tampa. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Lacey. Yeah, picture quality went pixelated. I'm glad I'm back. Goosebump says, I've been skirting around this for decades, such an ongoing impact on my life. I've written a couple of unsent letters over the years. I end up more resentful and angry, which feels unsafe and very sad. Definitely unsafe. That's not the outcome that we want, Goosebump. Let me think about this and read this again. Sometimes I'm a little slow. Sometimes I'm really fast, but sometimes I have to really process things. Been skirting around this for decades. Ongoing impact. Written a couple unsent letters over the years. I end up more resentful and angry. You know, this might require a more personal hand, Goosebump. If you are interested in examining this, looking at it a little bit more with me personally, I would love to do that with you. I don't know if I can like change the whole game for you, but I might, you know, have some insight. I might be able to identify something that can, I don't know. I would like to help you figure this out because I know what it's like to carry around resentment for years and years and years, and it's no way to be. And if you're having trouble solving it, I would like to help you solve it. So I don't know if you want to reach out or not, but if you do, please do. And maybe we can talk about it. My first thought is I want to read the letters, but my second thought is that's pretty personal, Mike. Why would you ask that? So I don't know, but I'm willing to do anything I can for you, Goosebump. Lost Mittens, thank you so much. Love you, Lost Mittens. Hope between the dreams, I see you. Do we have each other on Messenger? How have we communicated in the past? Was it Discord? How would you like to communicate? Should we email and then go from there? We can email and maybe get on the phone or something. Thank you, Kathy Ann. You are the best. You can reach me at sober@myyahoo.com. I get a lot of emails and a lot of comments, and I know that sometimes I answer them and sometimes I don't. And that's just because it's a lot to get through. So just know that I'm working on it. I'm getting there. But anyways, that's unrelated. Goosebump. If you email me, I'll be in there today. Let's talk about it today. I can get on this immediately, especially since we're talking about it right now and it's fresh on my mind. That's the perfect time for me to deal with it. It being ADHD. It's getting a little hot in here, guys. Sounds good, Goosebump. Absolutely, my pleasure. This is what I do now. I would like to affect change, great change in my life and others' lives. I would like to do everything within my power. You know, what's crazy is I have lived quite a interesting, possibly unique life, right? There've been a lot of downs, a lot of down and outs. There's been a lot of trenches, and for a long time, like I was saying earlier, there was a very victim mentality in me, a very vengeful spirit, and that did not serve. And somehow, some way, I came to a place where that's not how I'm living anymore. Somehow, I came to a place where I may have figured out how to claw my way out. I may have actually done that for myself, obviously with help. I don't think any of us can do this thing alone. But that gives me a very unique opportunity to help. That gives me a very unique opportunity to share that with other people, especially when the subject matter, like when what we're dealing with is so wild. So I know we don't necessarily always deal with drugs, right? That is what the problem is for me, drugs and alcohol. So I'm going to touch on it just a little bit right now. But did you know that the statistics for heroin addicts that make it off dope, that get sober, is 2% for males? 2 in every 100 men will successfully beat dope, heroin. And for women, it's 1%. That's terrifying. That's terrifying. And, I don't know who collected this data. I don't know where the statistic came from, but wow, you know what I mean? That hits me right in my heart. Like, like I just took one. I just took one on the chin, like that one hurts. Because these are my people. These are the people that I've spent time with. These are the people that I've grown up around. These are the people that I've, gone through heartbreak with. These are the people that I've experienced success with as well. Yeah, ASAP Lizzie says, drugs are my escape. I can relate. I can definitely relate when it's so easy to just check out, right? I don't have to deal with this right now. I can relate with that sentiment. But just know we are putting off the inevitable and making it far, far worse. The longer we put it off, the longer we give in and don't deal with these things, the more it's going to hurt. The more negative effect it's going to have upon your life and your mental state, your everything, literally, your whole world. And I guess, there's there's levels to this stuff, right? I don't know exactly what you're talking about, ASAP. So, I don't know, maybe you're just smoking a little pot or whatever. Like, whatever. Like, I don't know your situation, but in a general sense, if we're being destructive with our escape, it's going to lead to more destruction. So that's all I was trying to say. Jimena, it is good to see you. I was wondering if I'd see you today. Well, it's official. Me joining the streams will be hard, but at least I'm able to come and say hi. What's going on with you, Jimena? Let's maybe we should have a conversation today too. I don't know how you've been, but I wonder about it. I think about you often. Helena Flock of Swanboat says, have a relative who's made it over 20 years and going strong, if that's any help. That's a great inspiration, Helena, is what that is. My mother's 15 plus years sober now. She was a heroin addict my whole childhood, and she told me once upon a time that quitting smoking cigarettes was harder than that 1% success rate of heroin. Bless her soul. She's doing great. Love my mom. I love you, Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Tampa B-Man is feeling tremendous resentment towards the yard people who just blew up outside. You know what? You know what I don't hear right now? The leaf blower guy. Pretty stoked about that. That's usually a constant morning occurrence. I'm sorry to hear that, Spicy Cat Foster. Let's get some ones up for Spicy Cat and her family. It's always terrible to hear such things. But you are among friends. Jennifer Folsom says, Dale Cox, you are a Superman. Quit when your daughter was born. Good man. Good man. You know, ASAP Lizzie, and that kind of sounds, the way that that's stated, you don't sound like you have a problem to me at all. And again, I don't have enough information to really make that call. But again, it's not my call to make. It's your call, and you sound like you're in a good place, and I support you, all right? Conflicting meetings that I need to drive, and the only schedule my team can make it is this, but I will write later today, sending love. Well, good luck with all your exciting and busy stuff going on in your life, Amanda. Sending my love right back, and I'll look out for that. Goosebump, I saw that you said email sent. We're going to get in there. I will say I'm going to eat some food before I get in there, but I will be in there as soon as I eat. I definitely need to eat some food, though, or I'm going to get grumpy. Oh, I hate to hear this. People, places, perspectives. I'm so sorry. Lost a cousin on Monday to a drunk driving accident. Rest in peace, Brooke. She was only 34. Wow. You know, the statistics on alcohol and death is astounding. It's astounding. And we just sell this stuff at every store, on every corner. It's huge. It's a huge deal. And I hate it. Let's get some ones up again. I know we've been doing a lot of ones today, but you can never have enough ones, people, places, and perspectives. My heart goes out to you and your family. I'm really sorry. ASAP Lizzie says, I'm a work in progress. Yeah, me too. You and me both. All right, guys. Let's get into that time. Spanx, what scent is the candle? Dragon's blood smells are really good. The candle I have behind me is citrus coconut. These are courtesy of my good friend Jimena. I have sandalwood as well, but that one's my favorite, so it's like running out, so I've been trying to save it. And then I have lavender in the kitchen. I feel like lavender is a good kitchen scent. I do like the smell of dragon's blood. Puka Vista says, my mom quit smoking cold turkey for me. I miss her. Wow, what a gal. Shout out to your mom. Spicy Cat Foster. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. In honor of my beautiful niece, thank you, Lifeboat family. We are here for you. I'm glad you found us. I'm glad that we're affecting positive change in your life. That makes it worth it for me. Lizzie Noddle, hello, hello. Good to see you. All right, guys, I think I'm out of here. My stomach is yelling at me. All right, hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a difference. I don't know if I'm gonna do eggs, cheesy eggs, or yogurt. I'm gonna do something though. I'm kind of sick of eggs and I'm kind of sick of yogurt, so maybe we'll call the audible. I don't know, but I'm gonna make roast tonight. Pretty excited. I got Grandpa to send me some recipes. I'm gonna start cooking some stuff that I've never cooked before. I'm gonna start learning. I'm gonna use the crock pot. I'm gonna make the gravy. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm going to have the meals that I had growing up, but I'm gonna make them for myself. I'm gonna make some good old-fashioned comfort food today. And I'm going to do it because I want to. I'm going to do it because I deserve something tasty and soft that I don't have to worry about. So that being said, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Leave a comment after the show. I'm going to get in the comment section today, I promise. I know I'm not always consistent with that, but I'm doing my best, and that's all one can do. So again, my dad, the Admiral, will be live this evening, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Show up, give him a shout, tell him I sent you. Although I'm sure you're here because he sent you. Anyways, either way, love you guys. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon. All right. Captain Calhoun out.